my story of how my family experienced prematurity firsthand. In July of 2010, I found out that I was pregnant with twins. We were excited and happy and just ready for it. Right away, I was put on bed rest. You know, you go into a pregnancy excited and wanting to do all the fun things and plan, and then all of a sudden you're told you can't do any of it. I remember on December 28th having really, really bad pains. About 6 o'clock that night, I called my mom and said, "Mom, I need to go to the hospital. You know, something just doesn't feel right." At this point, I'm 23 weeks and only 6 days into my pregnancy and really kind of afraid of the idea of having these babies early. Then they're talking about C-sections and taking these babies and you know, just staying calm. And it's like, how do you stay calm when you're told that your baby is at only 24 weeks, maybe born early? Not a very easy thing to do. I remember looking at my grandma and my mom and saying, "These babies can't come early. It's too soon, and they won't make it." And I, was told that it was either the possibility of none of us coming through it alive or some of us coming through it. And I remember being in the OR and everything was happening so fast, and they, made their first cut, and I didn't hear any cries. I didn't see any babies. And I was scared. I never thought it would happen to me. I never thought that it was a possibility. How can you do everything that you're told and then have this happen? It didn't make sense. A couple hours later, was in recovery and asked the nurse, did they make it? And she said, yes, they're beautiful. Shelby was 1 pound, 5 ounces, and she was 12 inches long, and that Colby was 1 pound, 8 ounces, and 11.5 inches, and that I wouldn't get to see them until later that evening, and that was kind of frightening. And, why can't I see them? I'm their mom. And I remember first seeing them, and to me, they were just these tiny little bundles of beautiful baby. I saw past all the tubes and the monitors and the wires and everything, and I just saw these 2 little lives that I had fought so hard to bring into the world, and that they had fought right there with me to be a part of the world. Sadly, Shelby did not make it. After 8 beautiful days with her, she passed away due to a perforation in her bowel. From that point on, I lived in fear that I would lose my son. I lived in fear that, what did I do wrong? Could I have done anything different? The truth is, it just happens. There's no necessarily reason why it happens to certain people or why it doesn't happen to others, but it doesn't make it any easier. I remember getting a call that my son's bowel had perforated, and by some miracle, my son survived and had a couple of surgeries along the way, spent 109 days in the NICU, and thrived, and is now a 21-month-old crazy little kid that is doing amazing. He has not, thank God, had any problems. Thanks to the March of Dimes, families like mine get the chance to have little miracles come home, and they're a big part of all the research and equipment put into these NICUs to help these babies and help these families. And I'm very grateful to be able to be a part of the March of Dimes team.